Hey man, what's up with the party hat and the balloons?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I'm celebrating.
Oh, is it someone's birthday or something? Or
We got 400 yards, man.
oh my God, we did it!
My dick is big. My dick is wide. My dick is huge.
That's right. Super Bowl, here we come.
So you're saying there's a chance?
We're ready to tear this baby up. Why? Nice. Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to this Week 12 Progress Report edition of the Trajan Temple Sportcast. I am your host, professional wrestler and Kansas City Chiefs fanatic, Christian Temple, joined alongside, as always, by my good friend, the 400 Club joining, terrible towel twirling Trajan. We got the hype train going in Pittsburgh now, don't we?
Yes. I mean, it is incredible. The offense is rolling. Matt Canada's gone. Our running game is a two-headed monster. It's a good time to be a Steelers fan.
Good time to be a Steelers fan. Well, I guess there's no sense in delaying the inevitable. Let's go on over to the Pittsburgh Steelers getting the win against the Cincinnati Bengals by a final score of 16-10. And on that note, I'll just shut my mouth and I'll let you take it from here. I'll let you bask in this.
Yes. So started out the game. Very couldn't see anything. But
That's right. That's right. I forgot. It was a total black screen on the first couple minutes. It
I
seemed
was
like.
like, "Is my TV messing up?" Which you texted, and I knew it wasn't only me. But game started right off the bat. Pat Fryermuth. It was like a 22-yard catch right over the middle.
Wait, you can throw it to him? I didn't think that was
I
allowed.
guess I guess you can throw in the middle. I guess you can. So he had a huge day, 9 receptions, 120 yards, longest for 29 yards. Yes, we were targeting the tight end. Um, like I mentioned, Najee had a great day, 99 yards. Jalen Warren, he let us down with a fumble, but it was a rain game, so I'm going to give him the benefit of doubt. He's been running angry all year. We'll get that mistake out of the way now. Kenny Pickett, efficient, 278 yards, 0 touchdowns, but 0 interceptions, 2 sacks. Biggest thing, though, we didn't get a lot of points. So there's a lot of production. It's just um, in the red zone, we fumbled the ball. It should have been a touchdown. If Tomlin reviewed it, it would have held as a touchdown with Deontay Johnson. Very next play, Warren fumbles the ball and Deontay Johnson just stands there. They're not starting out the greatest, but we drove all the way down to the red zone. I'm like, all right, well, let's see what we can do here. First quarter went scoreless. Uh, not not the best, but there was production. Second quarter, we only get a field goal. They get a touchdown on us, and this is where I started getting a little worried. I was like, man, we're driving the ball, but I mean, Jamar Chase had a great reception. I mean, he kept focus on the ball. The ball got tipped in the air. I thought we are going to intercept it. He did this twice in this
I was gonna
game.
say that happened twice, didn't it? That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it should have been an interception, but somehow he got it.
He's
Minka
always open.
Fitzpatrick there probably would have been something.
He's always open.
He is always open. What I don't get though, the ball's tipped. Hit the receiver, knock him down. You can touch him after that.
hmm
Make it so he can't do it. But
This goes out the
whatever.
window. That goes out the window.
Yep. But this is right around when my brother texts me, "We are gonna lose the game." I'm like, hold on. We stopped the score here this third quarter. We stopped the score here. I think we're good. Bam! Interception. And it was beautiful. Take interception. We take it all the way to the house, get a touchdown, our only touchdown of the day. Najee runs it in. We get another 2 field goals to round it out, 16-10. Biggest takeaway is we're building confidence. The offense starting to get some swagger there. We're 7-4. We're right in the thick of things here. We got to put the Bengals away at their home. We have another home game against them, which is huge. I think everything's looking good. Our defense is holding tight, and we got Minka coming back, so that's huge. So I think we're only going to get stronger going off of this. What are your thoughts on this fabulous game from this fabulous offense?
I'm more interested in your thoughts because I was texting you kind of, back and forth as the game was going on. It started with when we saw both a black screen on our TV screens and we're wondering, is something going wrong for the game? Does Deontay Johnson still fucking suck?
The rage at that play. So the touch, I just kind of hinted at it earlier. The touchdown, it should have been a touchdown.
I agree with
if Tomlin would have reviewed it, it would have been a touchdown. But basically, he catches the ball in the end zone. I'm already celebrating. Both me and my daughter are waving our terrible towels. We're standing up, and then all of a sudden, they're saying no. So, okay, what happened here? Did he step out? And they showed it. I'm like, you couldn't hold on to the ball. I mean, Tomlin should have reviewed it. It would have been a touchdown, but it would have been called a touchdown if he just held on to the ball.
Based on today's NFL rules, that should have been a catch and a touchdown, but it was kind of funny when the announcer said it looks like Johnson didn't survive the ground there. I'm like, oh no, those fateful words did not survive the ground. Of course, it had to be a Steelers player that he says those words about.
My brother was livid at this. Yeah, no, I mean, he did 4 moves, which is...
he checked all the boxes. I thought he
checked all the boxes. So whatever. The biggest thing though goes from that next play, fumble, and he's just standing there. And I saw it. I didn't need to see all the memes and stuff. I just saw him standing there. I'm like, what are you doing? The ball's right there.
Well, it's
Jump on it.
It's a little known fact that Deontay Johnson's favorite player before he got in the league was Cam Newton. So
yeah,
just a little known fact there. No, that's it wasn't the prettiest win, but in a divisional matchup, there's no such thing as a pretty win, except for the one I'm about to talk about. But no, that was a win you guys definitely needed, especially the way you won with the 400 plus yards of offense. That's something that, especially Kenny Pickett, that's something that he definitely needs to get his confidence built up to. The Deontay Johnson drop aside, I mean, that's just, I definitely don't agree with that call. That should have upheld as a touchdown, and it's only more tragic by the fact that 2 plays later, you don't even get any points. It's a turnover at that point. So if you would have lost that game, oh man, I'm sure it would have been hellfire and brimstone talking about Johnson and his lack of effort. But you guys came out with the W, and pending if the Ravens don't play this week, but hey, you're still very much in the hunt for maybe the AFC North. There's still time.
There is time.
So, well, speaking of
divisional game.
Yep, exactly. Speaking of divisional football, another streak was extended this week. So let's hear it, Kingdom. How about those Chiefs? Another victory at Arrowhead West in Vegas. the place where the Chiefs Kingdom flag is buried underneath Allegiant Stadium, and Mahomes has been undefeated every time he's played at that stadium. I do have to say, it was very kind of Andy Reid to spot the Raiders 14 points before he decided to to unleash such holy vengeance and furious anger upon the Raiders, without Josh McDaniel this time, by the way. But yeah, it started off kind of shaky, to say the least. You get the Raiders, drive down the field, get a touchdown, and you think you get a stop. They miss a field goal, and you get another chance. Nope, Josh Jacobs runs, I think it was about 65-yard touchdown. Then you're thinking, oh boy, it's 14-0, and our offense is once again not showing what it can do. But when it was 14-0, they decided to wake up and get the party started, which I was very happy to see. They once again fed Isaiah Pacheco the ball. He got 15 carries this time. Not a huge average in yards too, but he was clutching a few runs, including 2 rushing touchdowns. One of which we should have counted, and Reed probably could have challenged and it would have stood, but the very next play handed off to him, and he runs angry, he runs hard, and he runs for touchdowns, and that's exactly what he did after that. Good game for Patrick Mahomes, all things considered. No turnovers, no giveaways by the team, so that's always a positive. Mahomes finishing 27 of 34, 298 yards, not bad. 2 passing touchdowns, one to Justin Watson and another to the guy I would give the game ball to for the offense. He is finally starting to step into his own, and that is one Rashee Rice, who was targeted 10 times, 8 receptions, 107 yards, and a touchdown. And the thing about the Chiefs' offense has always been, going for the big play, going deep down for someone too. Rashee, that I've noticed so far, is a good yards after catch kind of guy. Like when he gets the ball, he can break tackles and he can make people miss. So that's and truthfully, I said this from the beginning, like, take what the Raiders give you. They were playing so soft in coverage. So take the doinks. Yeah, there was a pretty big doink in another game, but take the dinks and dunks. Take the crossing routes too, and that's exactly what Rashee scored on was a crossing route and made 2 guys miss. Hats off to MVS. He didn't make a whole lot of catches, but he made some pretty key blocks as a wide receiver. So at least he's contributing in a positive effect, even though it's not what we paid him to do.
Yeah,
I think he'll get get another chance at redemption. I think because it was like I said last week. He had his big moments. In the AFC Championship game. So in the big games, I hope he shows up when he needs to. But yes, I got to give the flowers to Rashee Rice. Travis Kelce had himself a pretty good game too. 6 receptions on 7 targets, 91 yards, another near 100-yard day. It looks like he is on pace to crack 1,000 yards yet again. And he has become the 4th tight end to eclipse 11,000 receiving yards, but he is the fastest tight end to do so in his career. So hats off to Travis Kelce, and major props to Coach Andy Reid, who has now become the winningest coach in not only 1, but 2 different franchises. The former being the Eagles and the latter being the Chiefs. He has officially passed the legendary coach Hank Stram. So kudos to Big Red. This was a statement win that they needed oh so badly, especially after coming off the defeat at the Eagles. Some say it was a collapse against the Eagles, and boy, it sure felt like it in that second half. They scored points in the second half. It's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle. Not only that, they scored more points in the second half than they did in the first half.
So you didn't respond to me for a very long time. When you went to the half tied, I said either this game ends in a tie or the Raiders win because you guys can't score in the half.
I wanted to wait and see what happened. I had to wait and see what happened because either I was going to say, damn it, you're right, or thank God you were wrong. And thank God you were wrong. I mean, let's be honest. It had to happen eventually. They were going to wake up in the second half and absolutely show what they can do, and I'm actually glad it was against the Raiders. That's the kind of team you want to show off against your division rivals. Well, especially since they were starting to get just a wee bit of confidence behind them after getting rid of McDaniel. So, but we needed that win. It was definitely a statement win starting from the second quarter on. So, on to Green Bay, Sunday Night Football, primetime again.
Go Pack, go.
Your cousin would be very happy if that was the case, wouldn't it?
He would.
He would,
but I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, we shall see. I told you this earlier. I'd much rather have had that game flexed out of Sunday Night Football, especially since we've got the Eagles and the 49ers this week. I mean, this could determine the NFC champion, or kind of give an idea of who it is this coming season.
And there's so many storylines to it. I don't know why it wasn't to begin with. I mean, the 49ers all season long and off season, they were talking about if they were healthy, they would have destroyed the Eagles.
Or at least made it more competitive.
Or at least been competitive. And the Eagles, they kind of are taking offense to that. So I think it's going to be a great game.
It will be. It'll be a lot of fun. And who knows, I might be completely, tired out by how fun this game is before the Chiefs even play. But we shall cross that bridge when we get there. But it is now finally time for our Week 12 progress report. And as you can see right here, there's going to be some changes. There's going to be some movers and some shakers here too. A lot of changes, a lot of teams trending up, a lot of teams trending down. I guess we should start from the bottom and work our way up, I suppose. How are we feeling about the Chicago Bears? I think even after the win with the Vikings, I don't really see them moving up.
That was a game where no one wanted it, and Chicago ended up taking it. Yeah, I don't. There's no confidence there. They want the number one pick. They have a very unique situation. If they get the number one pick and the number 4 pick, because they got the Carolina's first round pick, and then their 4th round pick.
Yep.
I mean, they're going to go quarterback. I mean, can they honestly say, setting with the number 1 pick and number 4 pick in a QB loaded draft class, yeah, Fields is our guy? I don't know.
That's hard to say, honestly. It's like I don't think Justin Fields has shown enough over the past couple years to prove that he just needs more time or needs more help. I mean, coaching might be a factor in there too, but I mean, I think he's kind of overstayed his welcome. It seems like. Hard to say.
Caleb Williams.
Was Chicago one of the teams that was on his list per se?
Can't remember. I think he's just going to be another bust, to be perfectly honest.
He probably will be, honestly. The completely overhyped number 1 draft pick quarterback, and it's all lip service. It usually is. Yes, it usually is.
It's usually the sneakily good quarterback that is good.
Exactly. Well, you can clearly see the Carolina Panthers sitting in trash, and clearly they believe themselves as trash. I'm gonna make an executive decision here too. I think the entire NFC South belongs down here. Yes, even
we're moving them all down.
We're moving them all down here. Yes, even you Falcons. I know you're leading the division right now, but good God, no one with a losing record. This should be a playoff contender right now.
I mean, it's just 5-7.
God. Okay. Well, to be fair, when we come back to this in week 16, obviously we change everything up. Every team that's in the playoffs is playoff contender. Every team that is locked in the playoffs is playoff contender. Every team that's in the bubble is meh. Every team that's eliminated is bleh/trash at that point. And then the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. But right now, the NFC South, it's all trash. It's all garbage. There is no redeeming. There's like no redeeming qualities. Remember when we thought the Saints would run away with this division? They couldn't even beat the Falcons with Desmond Ridder back at the helm. I mean, it seems like Arthur So like, who's the coach again for the Falcons? Arthur Smith or blank or whatever?
Yeah, Arthur Smith. Yeah,
Arthur Smith. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Everyone wants his job. Everyone wants him out, and they're winning that division. That's how sad it is.
Yeah.
Panthers just fired their coach. Everyone wants Dennis Allen gone out of the Saints. Buccaneers, don't even get me started on that cesspool right now too. But no, NFC South, you're all trash. You're all going down. You can stay there. And Cardinals, you can stay there too.
I agree.
There's my rant for the day.
Raiders without Josh McDaniels?
Just because I feel sorry for him.
They're still trash.
Yeah, it's fair.
I mean, who's their quarterback?
It's their quarterback.
Who's their quarterback? Josh McDaniels, not Josh McDaniels.
Aiden
Josh
O'Connell.
Jacobs probably gone next year.
Yep.
I mean, besides Crosby, which is a good player, what's their identity?
Who played through injury and has probably done permanent damage to his knee. Just for the sake of playing against the Chiefs.
He never should have. Not for the Raiders.
No.
You don't risk your career for the Raiders.
Exactly. Are we ready
Green Bay?
Are we ready to move the Packers out of trash and at least to black? Because they've shown some life and they beat the Lions. I think it's time to move them up a hair.
I think they do move up.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take the obvious one back down. It's got to be the Commanders. They got to sink down. It's any team that has a worse record than the Giants has got to go down, right?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
How about the Giants? You think they should go down too? They did just beat the Patriots.
They did, and they got Danny DeVito. Tommy DeVito, not Danny DeVito. Tommy DeVito. He has as much charisma as Danny DeVito, but
forget about it.
Forget about it.
Patriots, you want to win? Forget about it.
Forget about it.
We'll keep them there. Vikings, I feel like I think they should stay the same where they're at.
They should. I mean, they have talent. If anything, if we had a worse luck category, then yeah. But that would be a fun one to have. But
they'd be S tier. They'd be S tier in the bad luck category.
Yes, and they'd be right there, and Chargers would be right there too. Yeah, they stay there.
Yeah.
This next one, I think we can make a decision where it's going.
Going down. Absolutely going down. Yes, they had a chance to tie the game with that field goal that went awry, but let's be honest, they were never in it. So Patriots, enjoy your Caleb Williams quarterback or Drake or whoever you pick up. I think Mac Jones is done. He's cooked.
Yeah. Well, now your favorite team.
Ooh, boy, Broncos. Man, as much as I hate to say it, they honestly could very well be playoff contender. But
give them a few weeks.
I'll give them to meh, which I will also do the same for the Texans. I'll give them meh, and so the fact that they play each other this week will heavily determine what their futures are going to be in the foreseeable future here.
Yeah, because right now the Broncos have a 29% chance, according to ESPN, of making the playoffs.
Who'd have thought that after dropping 70 points?
Not me.
So
get this.
Broncos up, Texans up.
Get this. The Bills have a 21% chance of going to the Super Bowl, according to them. I mean, playoffs.
The playoffs, yeah. I saw that one
Steelers
too.
Have a 73% chance of going to the playoffs. They give the Steelers a 2% chance for the Super Bowl, but a 3% chance for the Bills. What is this?
What is going on?
What is this BS?
They don't know what they want. They don't know what they're talking.
I don't think this math works out.
Well, speaking of math not working out, I think the Titans are sinking to the bottom too.
You think they're trash?
Yeah, we'll keep them. We'll keep them blah for now, I guess.
I think there's hope, but they need to get weapons. basically what
Do
it
you
comes
do you
down.
truly believe Will Levis will be the guy going forward?
I mean, you got to let him try.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, what about Minshew? Minshew's been doing, decently well. They find ways to win, don't they?
They are decently well in blah.
In blah. You don't think that's enough to move them up one? Even with a winning record, they're 6-5. They got a better record than the Texans do, and we moved the Texans up.
But there's so much hope with the Texans.
That is true.
Yeah, okay. I guess, yeah, 6-5. That moves them to meh.
Let's bring them up to meh, and then they can shoot themselves in the foot like we know they will.
Ooh, the Bungles. We gonna move them to blah?
I think so. That injury to Joe Burrow. It's just debilitated them. I mean, yes, granted they're 5-6. They're not the worst team. They're the worst, or they're the best worst team in the divisions as far as the AFC, and probably actually the whole league. Yeah, the whole league. They have.
Who'd have thought at the beginning of the year we'd have them all the way down to blah?
I mean, it was kind of looking that way from the start when Joe Burrow first got hurt, and then it just went from bad to decent to hopeful to worse, and then it's just dismal at that point. The Rams are trying to get a foothold there. I think they can stay, at least for now.
Yeah.
It was a kind of easy pickings for against the Cardinals, but we'll see how the rest of the schedule shakes out for them. Do I think playoff contender? That's kind of a stretch right now, but they're starting to find their rhythm again, I think.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Now your divisional opponent.
Oh, pain. Absolute pain for the Chargers fans everywhere, all 10 of them. They are not quite trash, but boy, are they slipping down that slippery slope quickly. They're going down to blah. And here's the deal. We put the Bengals on blah because they lost their franchise quarterback. The Chargers are falling down because they keep getting in their own way. And it's so beautiful to see. And if they lose, I'm calling it now. If they somehow lose to the Patriots this week, Staley is gone. I'm calling it right now.
Is this the game also, though, that there's always a game, they've gone on a slid, they win very convincingly against a very bad team, and then suddenly the Chargers, they're the hottest team in football, things go their way, they could get in the playoffs, no one wants to face them. Does that kind of feel like that more?
Just the way that they've been losing games. Not by how many points, but just how they've been losing. It's so... Like I said, if I was a Chargers fan, I would be pissed about everything. Justin Herbert hasn't been clutch. Brandon Staley has not been a good leader. I mean, good God, we saw him almost have a meltdown at that one press conference about one simple question that was actually kind of valid.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
slippery slope right now. Also, slippery slope, the Jets. The Jets are sliding down. They're Tim Boiling themselves out of
Rodgers
contention
was
here.
at practice, though.
I'll believe it when I see it, but
Yeah, I mean, if I was Aaron Rodgers at this point, it'd be different if we're on a 2-game winning streak here. At this point, I say get fully healthy, get some new offensive linemen for next year, and go with that. So, yeah, I agree. Bleh.
It could be the last chance for Aaron Rodgers next year with the Jets. So, and boy, he's got. I wonder if he'll have PTSD from taking the field on MetLife Field again, because voted, and rightfully so, voted the worst stadium to play at by several anonymous NFL players. Yeah, and
I'm surprised it wasn't Philly, though.
I'm sure it was towards the top or towards the bottom.
The worst fans, probably Philly or Patriots.
Philly and the Cowboys were tied for most annoying fans.
Oh, okay.
From what I understand, they were either 1-2 or they were tied. I think it was pretty close. It's too close to call. Alrighty. Well, I think I know the answer to this one. Where do you
Super
see
Bowl!
the
Super Bowl.
God, I didn't think anything would be more delusional than Brandon Perna's power rankings. I think Steelers have earned the right of a playoff contender for sure, the way they've been right
They're
now.
definitely taking the Browns' place.
I think so too. That's what I was about to say. The Browns, I think, get knocked down a peg, which is unfortunate because they lose Deshaun Watson and DTR, and now they're down to PJ Walker. So, well, unless DTR cleared to come back next week, or I haven't heard anything.
I
On that
don't
yet.
know. I mean, if I was him with a concussion, I wouldn't rush going back.
Probably not, honestly. But yes, the Browns
Not
at 7-4, not as hopeful. They've got a solid defense still,
amazing
but
defense, but
yeah.
no offense.
Nope, no offense. Okay. All right. San Francisco. Are we ready to flip-flop the 49ers and the Eagles? Or do we think the Eagles will hold on and we'll just find out what happens Sunday afternoon? I about said Sunday night. It should be Sunday night. On Sunday afternoon, shall we wait and see?
I say it stays the same.
It stays the same. All right. Well, here's what I'll do. I'll put them underneath the Eagles on the Super Bowl category because they are right next to each other. Their fates are tied with each other.
Yeah. I mean, congratulations. You beat the Seahawks. I mean, are you really that surprised?
At this point, as beat up as the Seahawks are right now, it was a valiant effort on their part. But yeah, the 49ers just overwhelmed them. It was not pretty.
Yep.
Well, speaking of not pretty, it was not pretty how the Jaguars beat the Texans, but they did beat the Texans, so that puts them clear-cut first place in their division rival. It was a doink away from going to overtime. But yeah, I think the Jaguars stay where they are. And as much as I hate to say it, I think the Cowboys probably do too.
Yeah, after the 45-10 beatdown they did on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all want the Cowboys to fail, but we all know that place is in the playoffs.
Yep. We were talking about it earlier today. It would be so hilarious. Whoever wins the division, even though none of them deserve it, whoever wins the division in the NFC South, if they beat the Cowboys in the wild card round, would be the greatest thing to happen to America.
But the greatest thing to happen to America would actually be Cowboys-Steelers Super Bowl where the Steelers beat them.
You just want that redemption from 95 or whatever it was.
McConnell throwing the game because he owed the Mafia money? Is that what you're talking about?
Not that you're bitter or anything like that, right?
No.
You've grown up from that. You've moved on. Alrighty. Kansas City finally starting to get their groove on. I am even though they did beat the Dolphins, I'm not quite ready yet to move them to Super Bowl contender on the account that I think the Baltimore Ravens are the slightly more complete team. So Battle of the Birds so far in the Super Bowl. We'll see how the rest of the season goes. Baltimore does have a little bit of a stretch in front of them too, playing some tough opponents. We'll see how that goes. They've got the bye week this week, a chance to get rested up too, but just if the Chiefs keep playing like they did against the Raiders, I think they have a chance. But right now, the Ravens, they've shown a little bit more these past few weeks.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
Yep.
Seahawks, we're moving them
down,
right?
Going down. Yep. Not quite down to Blair. They've had some injury troubles, and that's just unfortunate. But it seems like it's going to be the 49ers division going forward, and Seahawks they very well still could find themselves in a wild card position.
Sure. Oh, we got the Detroit Lions.
I think they stay.
They stay, but man, they disappointed me on Thanksgiving. I mean, this is their time to change the narrative, and they just filled it with, yeah, they lose on Thanksgiving.
So this next one's an interesting one. The Buffalo Bills, they went toe to toe with the Eagles, even with some of the questionable ref ball that happened there. I mean, good God, it took a Herculean effort from Jake Elliott to even send the game to overtime. And unfortunately, at overtime is just it's Josh Allen's kryptonite, it seems like.
He just can't get it done in overtime. I mean, what's their schedule looking like? Before I make this decision, what's their schedule looking like?
They have the Cowboys this week.
Oh my gosh.
But
they're moving down.
But then they have the Chargers, then the Patriots, and then the Dolphins to close out the season.
Is that enough though? I don't know. Yeah, they'll beat the Chargers in New England, but where are they at right now?
Here's the deal, though. We have the Denver Broncos at meh. We have the Houston Texans at meh. We have the Colts at meh. We have the Browns at meh. They all have the same record as the Bills. Basically, the Bills have that extra loss, but they have the bye week this week. I'm sorry, they don't play the Cowboys this week. They play them next week. They have the bye this week. I misspoke. But they're pretty much the same level as those teams, at least the way they've been playing. So, is it fair? Is it fair to keep them at playoff contender, whereas the Broncos, Texans, Colts, and Browns we move down? Or should we elevate those teams up and at least match the Bills? I mean,
oh gosh, I think fair is fair. I will say I leave Bills in playoff only because they've done it out of those teams. They've been there recently. Josh Allen has that experience. I mean, a few games go their way this year. I mean, they've had some close games.
We keep them there, but they're skating on thin ice right now.
They are.
The Cowboys will be a good litmus test for them to see how worthy they are. If they could be competitive with the Cowboys like they were with the Eagles, and honestly, for that reason alone, I would keep them playoff contender. They took the Eagles to overtime, so they had a lead for quite a while too.
Yep, so, it looked like they're going to win.
So even that probably warrants a little bit of a favor to them. So yeah, I agree. And like you said, they've got the experience, whereas those other teams do not. So we'll keep them there, but yeah, these next few weeks will be very telling, and we'll see how things shake out. But that is our tier maker. That is few movers, few shakers there too. Like I said, it's pretty funny that we got the entire NFC South in trash, and we've got an all-bird Super Bowl, which very well could happen. We could see the Ravens versus the Eagles. We could see the Chiefs versus the 49ers. I have a rematch there. We could see the Dolphins versus the Lions. You know, how about that for a fun little change of things in the Super Bowl?
We could see Steelers Cowboys. Come on, say it.
That's what I got you for, so you can say it, so I don't have to. What do the Steelers got this week? What's on tap for them?
Ooh, we got a very exciting game versus the Cardinals. At this point, it's like fighting an old man. You're the asshole for beating an old man, or you're the punk who lost to an old man. So, this game kind of worries me, but I'm optimistic.
There you go. That's the way to be, is optimistic, right? All right, and as we mentioned, I really don't agree with the fact that it's in prime time, but the Chiefs, Sunday Night Football at Lambeau Field, taking on the Green Bay Packers, who, by the way, did just beat the Detroit Lions, who also beat the Kansas City Chiefs on Week 1 this year. So, you know, there's a variable to look at. I'm hoping that Andy Reid and the Mahomes and the rest of the Chiefs don't overlook this opponent, as much as I'm sure you'd love them to. But Sunday night primetime football, looking forward to it. And we look forward to seeing each and every single one of you next week as we return. Any closing thoughts before we shut down for the evening?
You guys lose, we win, same record.
Same record. There you go. Any deals with the Blood Demon to be made about that one?
All the deals. All the deals.
Do you have any part of left in your soul to give away at this point?
If I find some, I'll sell it.
Well, there you go. Leave a comment down below if you'd volunteer your soul for tribute. No, please don't do that. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all of your friends, and we will see you all next week.